Hello YouTube, I'm Hills on the Hunt. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we have my most recent pickups. So let's go. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. So yeah, like I said, this is my most recent pickups. So this is from things ordered towards the end of February that arrived in the beginning of March, and then everything up until, well, the last packages I actually picked up this morning. So yeah, about a week and a half, just going on to 2 weeks worth of pickups. There's about 25 to 30 items. So we'll go over them and then, yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about them. Let me know if there's anything that catches your eye. Yeah, there's 2 DVDs and the rest are all Blu Rays. So I've said in kind of previous videos, I'm starting to just tidy the collection up into kind of bits and bobs in terms of what I like. I went through a phase of wanting everything and, you know, just almost a feeling of FOMO, and I kind of sat back and went, you know what, this is just a stupid way to do things. So I stopped collecting Blu-rays for a while so I can tidy up the DVD side of it. Picked up a few DVDs that I wanted, got rid of anything that didn't catch my eye. Got a few things still to get rid of and move on and send on to other people. And I started kind of implementing a few more Blu-rays back into the collection, and I'm very, very happy with kind of how it's going. It's you know, it's a lot tidier, it's a lot more organized. I know what I have more than anything else, and I'm enjoying just kind of working through kind of watch piles and 2 watch piles. Same with the DVDs in the cupboard over there. There's watch pile on one side and 2 watch. I know exactly what I have, what I've seen, and yeah, it's a happier place if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, we'll crack on. I'll show you the 2 DVDs first. I said it's 2 DVDs, there's 51 movies on those 2 DVDs. I'll explain. So the first one we'll start off with. Now, credit has to go to 2 people. Not for this movie, but for this collecting label sort of thing. So it's my friend Joanne, who you probably heard me mention in videos before. We were having a chat one evening about, well, movies in general. We would kind of chat a lot about movies and cover a vast range of movies. And I was actually talking about getting more into kind of 40s and 50s movies and 60s movies, Hitchcock movies and that style. And we were just comparing movies and stuff I enjoy, stuff she enjoys. And then we got into the Walt Disney style movies. And she told me about a movie that she used to watch when her little ones, the children were younger. And yeah, we kind of got into talking a lot more in depth about that. And she told me about a movie that I probably would enjoy. So I picked it up, and then another person for a different reason, but they've been talking about wanting to pick up Disney movies potentially. You know, they've showed off a few on the channel, on their channel as well, about stuff they've watched, and it kind of got me intrigued there. How much Walt Disney stuff isn't animated, and there's so much out there that you can kind of pick up. So it's kind of got me thinking that, you know, let's kind of delve into them. Obviously, you've got your well-known Walt Disney ones, which is like, you know, Cool Runnings runs under the Disney label and stuff like that. That all runs under that same label. But there's ones that are a little bit more obscure. This one probably falls into that category. The other person, obviously, I'm talking about, if you've seen their videos, you've seen them mention a few Disney obscure titles in their like weekly watches, and that's Stuart George. Stuart George's Home Movies. I'll link him in the description below. If you know Stuart George, you've probably come here from his channel. He's like a legend in the community. He's always kind of bringing movie fans and everything together. And yeah, just shout out to you, Stuart. But this one I picked up is Blackbeard's Ghost. Never seen it, never heard of it. It's from, I have no idea where it's from. Doesn't say. I say 80s, 90s. Starring Peter Ustinov, Elsa Lancaster, Dean Jones, Suzanne Plachette, Joby Baker, Elliot Reed. Stars in hilarious fantasy as a ghost of a legendary private Blackbeard, cursed to wander in limbo until he performs a good deed. Blackbeard gets his chance when he decides to help a local college track team that hasn't a ghost of a chance of winning. It's a Sammy G joke right there. This warm-hearted comedy will have you laughing from Blackbeard's first fade in to his final fade out. So yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about it. I have picked up a few more on the Walt Disney label, so something intriguing to check out. Obviously, the more common titles that you know of. But yeah, you know, I've always been a big fan of kind of Walt Disney animated, so I've got quite a little collection built up of the Walt Disney. I'm still always looking to add to that. So yeah, this was kind of a new venture in, another rabbit hole, as you may say. But yeah, it's like I said, seeing the couple that Stuart posted on his videos that he's seen and really enjoyed, and talking to Joanne about it, it made sense. And it's quite nice to have light-hearted stuff that isn't blood and gores, as Stuart would always tell me. But yeah, Blackbeard's Ghost is the first one I picked up. So I did say there was 2 DVDs and there was 51 in total. The next one is the Mill Creek Entertainment collection of 50 Western classics. Now, I have said before that Western is a genre I'm trying to delve into a lot more. And when this came up on Vinted for £6, that was just a no-brainer. 50 movies, 50 new movies I've never heard of. I was looking at the back of this, and none of these, well, I mean, Santa Fe Trail I've heard of, I've never watched. McClintock with John Wayne I've heard of, but I've never watched. But yeah, there's loads of there's William Shatner, Roy Rogers, Errol Flynn, John Wayne. Said there's James Caan, Lee Van Cleef. People I've heard of, but like there's I mean, Western's one of those genres. There's so many different kind of layers to it. So you've got your normal Westerns, your black and white Westerns, your traditional Westerns, your spaghetti Westerns, and I mean, look at Bone Tomahawk. That's a horror Western. So there's so many different branches coming off the Western. So I mean, this is probably going to be more family-friendly Westerns. A lot of black and white, a lot of colour, but I don't mind that. But yeah, I'm intrigued to kind of give it a go and see what it's like. You see it on the back. I'm going to pause that. Yeah, so you can see some of the titles on there. And it comes in this huge box with, so you've got your booklet, which just has all the movies in there, just very brief descriptions about them. And then all the movies come in these little covers. So they're all kind of in there, all in individual cases. So it's 4 movies to a case, I believe. I think one might have 5, or 1 or 2 might have 5 on there. But yeah, I'm intrigued to kind of tuck into this. Probably do it bit by bit because my watch pile is enormous. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of delve into this and see what it's like. But yeah, if you manage to pause it and see any on the back, let me know in the comments if there's any that I should tuck into first. But yeah, 50 movies, Western classics. I have seen sci-fi and horror and that kind of stuff in these kind of Mill Creek boxes, so yeah, I'm going to seek them out. I mean, £6 is it's an absolute bargain in my eyes for 50 movies. But yeah, let me know. We're going to delve into the Blu Rays next. Like I said, that's the bulk of the collecting. So again, these are kind of picked up mixture of places. A couple of charity shop pickups, CEX pickups. They're not like massive hauls, but just things I've kind of been in and out of CEX, just picked up as I've seen it. A few eBay pickups, a few Vinted pickups, and there's some HMV pickups and some Amazon pickups. So yeah, I'll go through them and I'll kind of just delve in. If I can remember where I picked them up from, I'll let you know. If I can't, then I'll just show you them. But we've got The Witch's Mirror from Indicator. I believe this is a Mexican movie. Yes, from Mexico, 1962 in Spanish language. If you've ever bought an Indicator tile, you'll know it doesn't tell you anything. It just says death is lurking and it's after you. But it looks creepy. This with the further Indicator titles on the inside. But yeah, let me know if you've seen this. Some cool titles in here. Mad Magician, La Lorena, Phantom of the Opera, Phantom of the Monastery, Voices, Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll, I Monster, Corruption, what's on the other side? Batwoman, Panther Woman, the Todd Slaughter collection, which is another one I want to get into because I've heard some of his movies are a bit out there. But yeah, I do enjoy Mexican cinema. Yeah, The Witch's Mirror is one group to get stuck into, so there's that. This was a CEX pickup. It's American Mary. I enjoy this one. It's from the Soska sisters. Yeah, I enjoyed this one when I first watched it. It's been a while though, so interesting style horror movie. Was body style horror? Well, not body horror per se, but yeah, body modification horror probably would be a better indication. It's can get uncomfortable in places. But yeah, it's a decent enough watch if you want something horror, but it's a little bit out there. Yeah, give it a go. American Mary. One I haven't seen for a very, 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 very long time, and that's the original It. Yeah, Tim Curry. I mean, I haven't seen the remake. I've kind of been told they're good, they're not good, they're good, they're not good. But, I mean, I want to check them out. I do have them on Blu Ray somewhere on my watch pile. I think I got the first one somewhere. It's probably staring right at me and I can't see it. No, I can't see it. It's probably up there somewhere. But yeah, that's that one. Love the slipcover on that. And there's the inside cover. It's freaky as hell. I do remember seeing this a long, long time ago and it kind of creeped me out a bit. But yeah, we'll see how it stands kind of many years later. But yeah, It. 101 Films, Mansion of the Doomed. Strong gory violence and threat. Richard Basehart stars as the maniacal Dr. Leonard Cheney, a brilliant surgeon who compulsively kidnaps people and rips out their eyeballs, dumping their bleeding bodies into a filthy basement cage. His master plan to transplant these ill-gotten orbs into the skull of his daughter, who herself was blinded in a tragic accident years ago. I do remember seeing this. I can't remember how I felt about it. So, yeah, looks intriguing. There's a cover and the booklet. Yeah, Mansion of the Doomed. Not really hard box, but it's a nice tidy little collection. I think this was £6, so yeah, it can't go wrong. Another slight delve into the world of Western, I guess you can say. Wyatt Earp. No, I've never seen it. Kevin Costner, Catherine O'Hara, Michael Madsen, Bill Pullman, Isabella Rossellini, Tom Sizemore. Good cast. Gene Hackman, Dennis Quaid. Yeah, very good cast. Yeah, I've never seen, but always intrigued to check things out. It's a long film, man. 190 minutes. Was that 3 hours and 10 minutes? Gonna need a long settle in for that, but yeah, Wyatt Earp. Mountaintop Motel Massacre. It's a German release. Again, I've heard about this one. It's supposed to be quite a good slasher, so can't go wrong. It's from the era of slashers. I think it's the 80s, this one. I think it's the 80s. Yeah, but it's definitely, it's all in German, so I have no idea. But I believe it's late 80s. Someone can let me know down below. Yeah, let me know if you've seen this one, if it's any good. It's one I haven't seen a lot, kind of able to pick up anywhere. But yeah, it's still sealed. You can hear it crunching. Yeah. So there's a seller on eBay, and they were selling. They sell loads of loads of bits and bobs. So a lot of spaghetti western DVDs and spaghetti western Blu-rays, and I kind of bidded on a lot of them. When I'm bidding on eBay, I kind of set myself a target of kind of that's my cutoff point. If I win the auction, great. If I don't win the auction, it's not the end of the world. So I bid, I think it was £6 maximum for these three each. And just kind of left the auction to run and just, yeah, I just kind of checked back when it finished to see how many I'd got or if I'd got any at all. So I got three. I think it was about 12 or 13 I bid on, both across DVD and Blu-ray. There was three Blu-rays that I picked up, so I'm not going to complain. They're all spaghetti westerns. They're all part of the spaghetti western collection. I've not heard of any of them. So if any of you have, you let me know. So the first one's called Arizona Colt. Giuliano Gemma. (1966) Italian-French co-production. A terrible outlaw gang terrorizes Blackstone Hall. Their leader, Gordon Watch, is in need of men, so he assaults a prison and recruits prisoners branding with an S on their arm. One of the prisoners is Arizona Colt, Giuliano Gemma, a gunslinger who requests time before deciding on the offer. For combining action and violence with a bit of romance and light humour. Cool. I don't know. So yeah, let me know if you've seen this one. The Fisting Fight of Shanghai Joe. Another one from the Spaghetti Western collection. Signed Chen Li. Chinese immigrant skilled in martial arts arrived in San Francisco in 1882. Looking for a job, he applies for work at a ranch and immediately learns about racial discrimination as the ranch hands are determined to put the Chinaman in his place. Believing they can easily beat the small Chinaman, they attack him and try to beat him up, but Joe beats them using his special skills and is hired by Kay, the foreman of Spencer, a wealthy businessman in the area, to move his cattle herd to Mexico, and so on and so forth. Yeah. I don't know. Let me know if you've seen this one. And then the last one is called The Ugly Ones. Thomas Millian and Richard Weiler. Again, another one from the Spaghetti Western collection. Film tells of the story of a young woman named Anna Eden. Ella Karin, who manages to help a bloodthirsty outlaw escape while he's being taken to prison. Anna and the other villagers remember Jose as a young man and feel he's been unjustly accused and convicted. A bounty hunter who arrives for a Ramon settler. Yeah. This is top shelf psychological auteur and the classic of the genre. This is Millian's first Western, and his acting performance shows why he's one of the best actors. Okay. So, yeah. I think all three of them came to about 15 quid in total, so it's not bad. Yeah, I'm intrigued to check them out. I'm intrigued to give them a go. Yeah, you'll always learn new things kind of when you're collecting. But yeah, those three were from eBay. This was, I think this next bunch was a Vinted haul. So, Rec, I love this movie. Absolutely phenomenal found footage style movie from Spain. Just, yeah, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. All set in a claustrophobic building, following a news reporter who joins a firefighting team who go to answer a call, and they get trapped in the building, and then just chaos breaks out. Brilliant, very, very unsettling. Yeah, very enjoyable if you've seen this. I think there's 4 of them in total. I've seen the first 2. I still need to check out the last 2, but yeah, Rec. The Gallows, not seen this one. In 1993, an accident results in the death of an actor during a school play. 20 years later, a theatre group at the same school resurrects the production to mark the tragedy. In an attempt to sabotage the play, 3 students break into the school at night, only to discover that the horrors of the past don't always stay buried, as their own cameras capture a series of chilling and inexplicable incidents that leads to their shocking climax. Interesting. Have you seen The Gallows? Let me know. Texas Killing Fields. Again, not another one seen. Sam Worthington, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Jessica Chastain, Chloe Grace Moretz. Inspired by true events, this haunting thriller follows homicide detective Sam Worthington and his partner Detective Hay, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as they track a sadistic serial killer dumping his victims' mutilated bodies in a nearby marsh locals call the Killing Fields. Okay. Mean, Moody and Magnificent, a classic crime thriller. Interesting. Let me know if you've seen this one. We Are What We Are. Shocking, bloody and deeply affecting. A cannibal gorefest is right up the street. We Are What We Are is a disturbing portrait of a family bound by a monstrous secret. When a middle-aged man dies in the street, his devastated family is left in crisis, for their father had always provided the human flesh on which they feed. Now he's gone, they're left with a terrible dilemma. Who will lead their hunt for victims, and how will they control their terrible hunger? Hunger. I know English, I promise you. Yeah, We Are What We Are. And the last one is the second sight edition of Paranormal Activity. I love this. I love this movie. Yeah, and you can't beat Paranormal Activity editions. Big hard box. That's for you, Marcus. But yeah. So I'm not going to take the images out of the white sleeve because I'll never get them back in. But yeah, you get your 6 postcards in there and your booklet. I know this film has its detractors and I know it has its haters, but I absolutely love it. I just think it's so brilliantly done. Like I said, when it came out, it was so different in terms of the style of movie it was. And think how many movies have come after it in terms of this style of genre. There's so many out there, but yeah, just brilliant overall. And like, let me know what you think of Paranormal Activity in the comments. I'm always curious to know if you like it, what made you like it. If you don't like it, why didn't you like it? Is it just the fact that it's very, very slow in terms of what's happening? Because for me, it kept me on the edge, just thinking what was going to happen, what could happen in this situation, you know. So everyone will kind of have their thoughts on it, but yeah, I'll be curious to see kind of what you think. But, let me know. We'll move on. So I was talking to Ash from Popcorn and Horror is going to feature quite prominently in the next few pickups. So I was talking to Ash on the back of one of his videos, where he picked up some stuff from Umbrella, the Australian distribution company, and I was just curious to find out kind of what his experiences were, because I've seen a lot of their sales, and I've always been curious to buy, but I've never pulled the trigger. And I just wanted to see if somebody had had good experiences. I mean, I buy from overseas because I pick up from Vinegar Syndrome. I have a lot of Vinegar Syndrome titles in my collection, and I love the label. I love the style of movies they do. They do a lot of shot on video stuff. They do a lot of obscure 80s horror stuff I really enjoy. A lot of the low budget stuff that I really enjoy. But Umbrella's one that they have some really, really cool box sets. A lot of really nice slip covers. You've seen, so I think I've shown a few off. I've got a couple that are in reach. So I've got them, which you can see on the side there is Umbrella. Yeah, they're beautiful editions. Like their artwork is just phenomenal. I mean, yeah, there's that, and then if I can grab the other one, which is one of my things, and get this back in, and there it is. Creep. So they do some beautiful editions, and they had a sale on. I think it was. Box sets were like either up to 70% off in terms of their retail price. And obviously go check out Ash's video. I'll link his channel in the description, but go check out his video. I think it's one of his last pickup videos where he shows off a lot of the Umbrella stuff that he had picked up. So yeah, so go check that out. And go follow Ash if you don't mind. Absolutely brilliant channel, top guy. Yeah, really, really one of the great people in the community. So he was talking about it and he was like, just be careful when you're buying in the UK because people are going to export it from Australia and then put it full price essentially in the UK. I mean, it makes sense if you can do it. But I'm very, very frugal when I go into buying stuff, especially when it's from overseas, because I know this is exactly what happens. The one thing to kind of know about Australian prices is it's almost double to UK. So essentially, if something is 20 Australian dollars, it's around £10 here in the UK, give or take. 10 to £12 or 10 to £8, depending on how the interest rate fluctuates. But that's essentially what you're looking at. This I picked up for £24 shipped, which I thought was a great deal. And yeah, I'm going to show it. So it is the Full Moon Fright Box. This is part 2, I believe. Yeah, volume 2. And in here you have 4 movies. There you go. That's your 4 movies. If you can see that over there. So you've got Sorority Babes in a Slime Ball Bolorama. Slimy Babes, Tim, for you. Puppet Master, Shadow Zone, and Seed People. And it's sealed. It's still absolutely sealed. Came in pristine condition. Cannot complain about it. Yeah, I'm so happy to add these. I mean, the box isn't sturdy. It's one of those very, very flimsy covers. You can kind of see it. I can push it in and out, like on the back. But I don't even care. I mean, all 4 movies are individually in there. Like I said, I haven't opened this box yet. And for £24 shipped, I'm not going to cry about it. Volume 1 is also on the same website. It's open, but it's £26. So I might pick that up next month when I get paid. I love picking up the Umbrella titles. I think there's some really cool stuff in there. And I know my good friend Bumper, he picks up a lot of titles in their Black Friday sales and stuff like that. So and he's always kind of hauled away really well with Umbrella. So yeah, something to look into. I quite like them. I love the Vinegar Syndrome sales. They're halfway to Black Friday sale, which is around June time, and then their Black Friday sale in November. Absolutely epic deals you can pick up. Some really, really epic box sets. And I know Umbrella have a really good sale on. So yeah, those will be 2 I'll be looking out for. But for now, yeah, happy to add all these in the collection. None of them I've seen. Sorry, Babes I've seen a long while ago and I quite enjoyed it. I know Arrow have just brought out a set for it as well. I think it's Arrow. Correct me if I'm wrong. It might be another company. It might be 88 Films. I don't know. Somebody let me know. I know one of the distributors over here kind of brought one out. But yeah, we'll see kind of what's on this one. It doesn't really tell. Oh, it does tell you. So there's loads of special features on all 4 movies. Yeah. I also didn't know that there was a Slime Ball 2. I only learned that today when I was looking on eBay. Looking on eBay and somebody was selling part 1 and part 2. Something to look into as well. So, but yeah, the Full Moon Fright Box from Umbrella. Keeping on Ash, he messaged me a couple of weeks ago, and he knows I'm into my horror, and he knows I'm into French smut. Let's just be honest. And he knows I've been picking up the 88 Films French collection. I have a couple of them. They are essentially just French smut. The best way to describe them. I can't describe them in any other way. And you'll see them in a minute. You'll see from one of my videos I picked up one from CEX where they had literally put stickers all over the box. On every image, every person had and that's because there's just pure nudity on the box. I mean, you have your French extreme movies and you have your French smut movies. I just enjoy world movies. I enjoy foreign movies. I enjoy movies. I'm not gonna I'll watch anything. And you've seen on my channel that I'll quite happily watch anything. But he reached out and he went, look, Amazon have a 2 for 15 sale on. There's some good stuff on there. There's some stuff on there from the French collection. So I was straight on there. So Ash, thank you so much for kind of reaching out. I picked up 4 titles. So I'll show you the non-French smut first. So we've got the Flesh and Blood show, which is Pete Walker, which is, I mean, as good as close to it as you can get. In Pete Walker's The Flesh and Blood show, a group of actors rehearsing for their play in an abandoned seaside theatre become unwittingly participants in a deadly game of horror. As they uncover the theatre's dark past, they must confront their own fears to survive a night of terror and madness. I cannot show you the back of this, because YouTube will ban me. So this is about as much as you're going to get. I'm pretty much sure you can guess what's on the back. But yeah, Flesh and Blood show. Schizo? Schizophrenia, when the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. Pete Walker's Schizo. A young woman's engagement to a famous athlete is out of the shadows by terrifying threats from an unknown assailant. As the stalker's menacing presence grows, she unearths a web of deceit and betrayal, leading to the suspenseful climax that will keep audiences guessing until the very end. It's got Stephanie Beacham in it. Why do I recognise that name? She's been in some British shows. I'm sure she has. I can show you the back of this one. Schizo. Now on for the French smut. So we've got erotic sex games. I can definitely not show you the back of this. I'm going to cover it. Christian Beauchamp is a medical student, is powerfully attracted to his beautiful stepmother. But when his fantasies become enthusiastic reality, he and his stepmother find things moving beyond their control. Kind of what you expect. There you go. That's all you're going to see. And then the last one is I Am a Nymphomaniac. I cannot show you the front cover of this. Hang on. As much as you're getting. Yeah. You can kind of guess what's happening in here. But yeah, they are on the 88 Films French collection label. This is number 1 in the collection. Yeah, I think the other one I want to collect is the... They've got another label as well, which I can't think. Oh yeah, here it is. It's the 88 Volt label. So I have one from there, which is number 1. I Drink Your Blood. 88 Films seem to have bringing out a lot of different kind of side labels, which I don't mind. I don't mind, because I know they've got the martial arts label and that kind of stuff. There's the Italian collection. So I quite like the fact that they've got different labels that they're bringing out and sub-genre movies. So yeah, I'm quite happy to pick bits and bobs up. I love the Italian collection. I love Italian cinema, so it's something that I'm quite happy to pick up and go along with. But for these ones, Ash, much appreciated, my friend. So thank you so much. And the last bundle of movies is from HMV. It was their Criterion Collection sale. I believe it's still going on. I think these were all $10.99 each. But yeah, so I haven't taken any of the stickers off, so you can't see any of the titles. Stick up my leg. So the first one is Holiday. 1938, 95 minutes, black and white, starring Katharine Hepburn and Cary Grant. Yeah, I mean, like I've said before in other videos, I'm quite enjoying the Cary Grant videos. I quite find him to be a very enjoyable actor. Just love the way he does things, his whole style. So yeah, so I'm always happy to kind of add a new one to the collection to check out. So yeah, Holiday. Let me know if you've seen this one. The next one, let's grab this one. Sorry about that. The Uninvited. Now, who did I see? I want to say I saw Roy Barrett, Blu Ray Movies. I'm sure he reviewed this on one of his weekly watches not so long ago. and it really, really piqued my interest. So yeah, and when I saw it for $10.99 for a Criterion, absolutely was happy to pick it up. But yeah, 1940 for 99 minutes black and white. A pair of siblings from London purchased a surprisingly affordable lonely clifftop house in Cornwall, only to discover that it actually carries a ghostly price, and soon they're caught up in the bizarre romantic triangle from beyond the grave. Intriguing, I love the cover of it as well. But yeah, The Uninvited. Two more to go. This is for Marlene Dietrich and James Stewart. This is Death Street Rides Again, which I believe is a western. Yeah. Marlene Dietrich and James Stewart ride high in the superb comedic western, both a boisterous spoof and shining example of its genre. As the brawling, rough and tumble saloon singer Frenchie, Dietrich shed her exotic love goddess image and launched a triumphant career comeback, while Stewart cemented his amicable everyman persona in first of many westerns. Cool. PG, 1939, 94 minutes black and white. Yeah, another one in there. And last but not least, we'll finish on a western. 310 to Yuma. 1957, 92 minutes. Glenn Ford, Van Heflin, Felicia Farr. In this beautifully shot, psychologically complex western, Van Heflin is a mild-mannered cattle rancher who takes on the task of shepherding a captured outlaw, played by Glenn Ford, to the train that will deliver him to prison. This apparently simple mission turns into a nerve-wracking cat and mouse game that tests each man's particular brand of honor. There's a remake of this as well, which is supposed to be really good. But yeah, 310 to Yuma. The stickers off my leg. That's everything. That is everything I picked up in the last couple of weeks. Let me know what you think. Is there any that I need to get to first? Obviously, they're all going to go into the to watch pile, which you can see behind me. So they'll just get wedged in there, and I'll just pick them up bit by bit and just continue watching. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Let's chat. I'm always happy to comment stuff in the chat. And yeah, just let me know if there's anything you liked. If you're judging me after that French smut, which is fine. Yeah, a nice mix of things. Like I said, I'm trying to get a blend of new items in. I'll keep going from there. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.